Hey guys, welcome to the Everyday Mom Challenge. All right, today I want to encourage you to start a homeschool garden. And I don't want to hear any excuses. We live in a neighborhood, we don't live out in the country. We have a patio, a small patio, concrete patio that we have potted plants on, and right at the side, to the right and to the left of me, we have our small garden. And I just want to tell you what a blessing it has been to experience gardening with my kids. Now, y'all, I'm not the green thumb of this, but I'm telling you, well, the more kids you have, you'll find one. I have a gardener now. We started it as an earth and environmental project. We live in a place of clay, and we had to experiment. We did soil testing. We tried out different organic soils. How would these seeds work in pots versus one side to the other? Just all kinds of like educational science stuff that we did while we gardened. But it also taught them that, we can have our own food. And no, I'm not like growing tons of stuff, but we can take a seed and we can plant it and we can take care of it, and it can grow into something. Character education. We're planting seeds with everybody that we meet all the time. And if we nurture one another and we care for one another, then we can see great things happen all around us. So I want to give you some tips on how to start a homeschool garden. You kind of already heard my why, like the no excuses and why we did it. And I will tell you that even when my oldest, he goes off to college, my younger is going to continue to do the homeschool garden. So we went with clay pots. We found that the clay pots were the best, not the ceramic ones. I had a hard time with the ceramics. You guys might disagree with me or not. And like I said, I'm not the expert gardener, so this is from trial and error for the past 2 years. We went with the clay pots at Lowe's, like $1.50, $2, like the cheaper pots. If you wanted to do crafts and decorate them and do all that, you can, but we're not that crafty, so we just got our pots and stuck our plants in it. I'm going to show you. See our pots? There's our pots. And then we just kind of went through and loved doing this part because we went through first year pulling up all of the different seed packets. We went to Lowe's, we went to Home Depot, and we went through the stands and we looked to see the zones and when could we plant, and we bought the big tray. So the first year we bought the huge tray, and we started in the spring and we planted in the house with and they're these like little tiny pods. And we followed that, and then we carried them out when it was time. We also did a fall garden. So you have time, guys, to investigate what are some fall plants that you could do as a back-to-school project with your kids. Not everything has to be planted in the spring, as you'll find out. So go out and research it, investigate it. My kids did all the research on this. They were seeing what plants would work for what season. We did a spring, and we did spring/summer garden, and we did a fall garden as well. So a lot of research and reading goes into it. After we did with that, we actually, we got Ziploc bags. He labeled all of the bags, and we kept them. We kept all the seeds. We kept all the packets. We made garden signs the first year. We didn't do it this year. And I thought it was funny because when we actually came out and we planted, we didn't chart it out. And so the first year we actually charted it out and we did a diagram. And kind of we knew it was that was really cool. This year when we put the seeds in, we kind of forgot what we planted until it kind of came up. We're like, oh, that looks like cantaloupe. That's a pumpkin, that's a watermelon. We were pleasantly surprised. So either way you want to go with that. And if you have a good memory, great, go at it. I'm getting older here. But we didn't have success in one side last year, and we didn't give up with it. The area that we cleared out is a small area. Nothing would grow in the fall. So we bought more organic soil and compost, and we mixed it all in with the clay, and we've actually have a garden now going on. So I would tell you that something that we learned is using the insecticides. You can do natural. We didn't do it the first year, and then this year we learned, like, we planted marigolds and we haven't had any bugs. We planted basil beside our tomatoes, no bugs. There are things that you can do like that you might not get everything right the first time you plant. So don't be discouraged. You'll learn as you go, and that just comes with more research, getting gardening books, or just reading online. Like, we didn't go to the library and get any books. We just read everything online. There's a wealth of information out there on gardening tips, and so it was great. It was really great to see 1 year behind us, stepping into our second year of gardening. We did order this year a lot of our seeds. So last year we did the Home Depot and Lowe's. This year we got a Burpee catalog, and we ordered from them, and I'll tell you, I got the best tomato plant going on right now. Just such strong, sturdy stems. Like last year we didn't have a single tomato that made it, and this year we actually have a great yield of tomatoes that are coming off of the plant. But my kids don't watch these videos, of course. They're boys and they're not going to look at their mama's videos. It's not about gaming, right? Or their politics. But I will tell you, so now that I've got you here, I can't tell you enough how much joy it brings me to text my son and say, hey, let's go check the garden out now. Or, hey, you want to go out and walk around in the garden? And we'll just go out and we'll spend time together. And we'll just talk about, you know, what we've got going on. We'll set goals about the garden. We'll say things we should have done, ways that we can improve it next year, because next year we're actually going to do like an expansion, and we're going to actually make rows, which we didn't do this time, and we feel like maybe that had impeded some of the growth of our plants that we had. So we're constantly talking about life when we're in the garden, and it's something we do every day. You know, we get out together. You know, he doesn't come out to check the plants on his own. We do it together. We did have a big bug scare, and y'all, I'm serious. I would walk around and I would see other people's plants, like just flowers and stuff, and I'd be looking like, oh, I'm catching myself looking for squash bugs. But when we had a problem, we attacked it as a family. And my girl's out there with a bug machine. We were sucking up squash bugs. We were researching the different types of eggs. We were, you know, spending an hour just out taking care of the garden. It wasn't just, oh, if we plant it, they'll come. You know, I'm teaching the kids this work ethic that, you know, if you do something, do it to the best that you can. Know that you're not going to be perfect at it, but continue to grow, continue to research and improve, and, you know, enjoy it. It's become like a family thing every day. So we take pictures of the garden, we share it out with our family. We meet people, we talk about the garden, and we try to encourage other people to do it, even if you start with pots. Like, I'll tell you now, like, if I can give you a tour of the garden. Like, I know this is probably going to be a bad video, so just excuse me, I'm not like the best with my phone. You guys figured that out yet. But, as you can see, this pot here, if you can even see what I'm pointing at, this didn't work well with the tomato. And we tried a ceramic pot. It didn't have good drainage. That's pepper problem, but you know what? We living and we learning. We bought some different varieties of bell peppers, and I'm gonna tell you guys the bell peppers. I'm gonna see if I can switch this around. Yep, I'm rotating it. So here's our bell peppers, and when I planted, or we planted, the marigolds here and the oregano and the basil, we had it to where we had no like major bug issues here. It's kind of so hot outside. So we didn't have a lot of problem. We did have to put out, we did have some snails, and we got some, saw some evidence of snails, and we did have to take care of those. But we've got some pretty good bell pepper plant way in the back, but my jalapenos, oh I love. But you just don't know how much, like, it's so cool that when I want a jalapeno every day, or if we're making tomato basil soup or Italian, we just come out, we grab our oregano, we grab our basil. It's super easy to take care of. So I would say if you're not really sure about doing like the bell pepper plants, things like that, doing our herb garden is just great. I want y'all to check out this tomato. So see how we have this like this little thing going on here? I mean, nothing fancy, nothing big. So my tomato, or our tomato, I keep saying my because I love our garden. Our tomato plant, I'm just like so impressed with how it's looking right now. And it's just like, we're getting all kinds of tomatoes off of this one. This one's from the Burpee Company. I think maybe it was the big boy tomatoes. We do still have the packs.